Coaches, is mesh just a check down? Is it a colossal waste of time? I don't think so, and neither do most of you. But for those of you who do, I'm going to convince you you're wrong. Stay tuned. All right, guys, let's jump into the video and start talking a little bit about mesh and why, it being called a glorified check down is probably not the best way to describe it. The way that I look at mesh is like this. And I said this in kind of the teaser video yesterday, is that you have a play that kind of answers all questions. And what we have right here in our Just Play software is we just have a basic mesh diagram of traditional mesh. We've got H. I got H running a little bubble here, just for shits and giggles or whatever. But it could be a pedal screen, it could be a shoot route, it could be a wheel, or however you want to do it. Over here, I've kind of converted the corner route into just a 10-yard out, so it could be a corner route, 10-yard out, could be a post wheel, however you wanted to do that. But the mesh itself, in this particular instance, is the XY mesh. And, I think the problem that a lot of people don't understand, and the reason why they have a hard time practicing it, is that they don't really pay attention to the basic rules of mesh, which tell you that there are certain things that are non-negotiable. And that's the fact that the mesh is always set from the right. And the fact that, you're going to go find grass and sit down in it. And here's the thing. And I think this is the thing that kind of set a lot of people off when Coach Robinson was talking about this on Twitter. And don't worry, I'm still going to have him on the channel, and because I'm going to give an opportunity to talk about it. He's a good dude, man. So, him and I talked, and just some stuff came up last night that we weren't able to kind of get together. He's in the Central Time Zone, and I'm in the Eastern Time Zone. But we're going to get together, and I'm going to get him on the channel and let him talk a little bit and explain his thinking behind it. But here's what I think about. A check down is designed to save you, much like CPR. So why would you not practice CPR? And I think that to me is the crux of the whole argument. So like, you're telling me that CPR is just a check, it's just a saving play, so we shouldn't practice that. However, every year we have to go to CPR training. So why would we want to put that time in it? And how many of you guys have been to CPR training and you're like, okay, is it 100 compressions? Is it 30 compressions? Am I doing rescue breaths and all this other stuff? And you're just like, God, there's so many other things I would rather be doing, until you have to save a kid's life, or you have saved a kid's life, or you've seen a kid's life saved because you know CPR. And so, that mesh is that check down. And listen, it could be the check down that you run. If you're running verts and you're checking down your back and you're not practicing that, then you're not going to be good at it. And so that's the best thing about mesh, is that it has a CPR component to it. There's a check down in there. There's a zone check down. So if you get zone coverage and you can't get this right here, let's say they're playing cover two, and this guy kind of plays the middle, and you don't like the back deal, or the back gets, they blitz and peel with your back. A lot of times, we used to zone blitz on defense, and we would tell that outside linebacker or whoever the contained rusher was, if you get a flare, you peel. So let's say they peel with the back here, and the corner has sunk underneath, and you just don't like that grass. Okay, now what do you do? If these guys are running through zones, they're running themselves covered. But now you've taught these guys, hey, I'm running, and as soon as I mesh, if I find grass, I sit in it. And so there's your save. Okay, so there's your CPR. That saved you. Or if I'm chasing the mesh, or I'm going to see the mesh right here, and I see that the guy's chasing him, I now know it's zone coverage. So I'm just going to climb at that 45-degree angle, and now I have a man beater. And so that's why it's so beneficial. And if you'll notice, I have the diagram drawn down here in the red zone. And it's why it's such a great play. You can take, the out here and turn it into a dig and run mesh pyramid, which is a great play. You know, and I swear I love this just play thing. It's so easy to fix, you know, but you can run mesh pyramid and have that guy sit in right side right there. And then you can, you know, you can climb him to the back pylon, you know, kind of do like, you know, a post wheel thing, but you can run pyramid right there. One of my favorites is I like to do this one right here is I'll take the post and put it in and run it like this. You know, and I'll turn that back to an out, but I'll run switch and put like a corner route right there. So now you have mesh with kind of H corner down here on the bottom side. All right, coaches, before we jumped in the video, I wanted to go over a couple of things with you real quick. So just stay tuned and we'll get to the video in just a second. Wanted to go over to the webpage real quick and show you some of the stuff that we got going on and some of the special offers that you guys can take advantage of. If you're signed up for Air Raid Nation already, it's going to be pretty cool, man. You got an opportunity to sign up for the 92 Innovators dinner, which is pretty cool. We're going to have 35 extra seats. You can come in and eat dinner with all the coaches, and we're going to have, you know, 15, 20 giveaways. So you're going to go in there. You're going to have a buffet style dinner. It's not going to be hot dogs and hamburgers, but it's going to be like steak and chicken and stuff like that. Be able to eat dinner with Coach Mummy and the rest of the coaches, talk ball for a little while, and get a chance to win some prizes like some free digital courses, some swag, and some signed stuff and stuff like that. So if you have a chance to do that, going to that Innovators dinner is pretty cool. Also, if you come over here, you can see you can get your tickets. Tickets are available. We have a link right to the room block. And if you want to be a Patreon and help out with the clinic, you can click on that too as well. So we got some special deals for the Patreons. Also, over on the webpage, if you come over here, you can see right now that we got a special deal. I told you guys when we did the video with Team Extreme that they were going to give us a special deal. But if you click on that right now, you can come over here and Team Extreme is going to give you 10% off of any package that you sign up with. And I can tell you, I use Team Extreme myself, and it's awesome. And the fact I have no fear of changing jobs or moving or doing anything as I rebuild my library from all the stuff that I lost when I left and went to the college level. Also, we got a deal right now with Just Play Solutions. You guys know I use Just Play all the time. Just Play is going to give you a free pro package upgrade on their stuff if you want to look at them. So you can go over there and click that up, use that code 92mesh, and they're going to give you a free pro package upgrade on that deal. Also, hey, 2020 is dropped and around the corner. We'll be dripping content, you know, every so often. Script in the Field drops this week. We're going to have some other stuff. I think I'm going to put some guest courses on there as well. So, you know, by the end of the year, it's going to probably be 75, 80 videos. So it's going to be well worth the money. And we got some specials on that. Then today is the last day of that 50% off sale if you're one of Coach Honstedt's people. So check that out. Hey, appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel. We're over 2,700 subscribers on our way to 3 grand. I can't thank you guys enough. It's just surreal to know that. Also, hey, some other stuff. If you haven't checked out our podcast on Podbean, it's Squadron 53.3 Podcast. You can go to the homepage and get to that down there. You can listen to all of our podcast stuff. There's also a link over there. Podcast has been doing pretty cool. Something we haven't really talked about, but we're starting a consulting business as well. So if you can't make it to the clinic, but you guys want to have a deal where we can help you put your offense in and stuff like that, you can get me and Coach Salas and Napier and Dular and those guys. We'll do an online clinic for you. So if there's something that you want to look at, hit me up at consulting at 92 Meshgroup and we can talk about it. You know, that's one of those things that we can do. Like I said, if you want to be a Patreon, that's pretty cool. All right, let's jump in the video. Or say you want to do kind of like what everybody else is doing right now, and the thing that Drew has kind of got everybody into, which is this whole you know, Washington State, you know, mesh cougar idea that we're running, where you're meshing the two inside guys, which is what Coach Robinson was talking about. You know, but once again, the mesh is still set from the right, and you have you know, the same deal, and you got outs, and of course you call your back and tell them which way to go and all that other good stuff. But here's the thing, you know, the statement that I think that he made that kind of got everybody kind of gassed off, you know, as far as, you know, the check down thing and the fact that you're practicing, you know, all this time, you know, on mesh. And I, you know, my reply to him was, hey man, I practice about 7 minutes a day. And to be honest, that's not wasted time, because what I'm doing is I'm practicing with these guys. If we're running the majority, you know, on Cougar Day, this is the mesh drill that we're running. My outside receivers, they're over there with another quarterback running 10-yard outs. Okay, these guys are just working on man zone reads, boom, boom, boom. So they got a 5-minute period or a 7-minute period or whatever you want to call it of just setting the mesh. It's not like, well, we're meshing and everybody else isn't doing anything. What are these guys doing? These guys are doing, blitz pickup or whatever's in the schedule. And if you want to look at how we practice, pick up the practice wizard, man. There's some great stuff in there. There's some sample days in there. You can see kind of how we do that. But these guys are getting their work in. The outside guys are running outs and posts and doing other little things. And, they could be stock blocking during that period or whatever you want to do. But the inside guys, they're working set down. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. They're stepping in, and we got the barrels up, and we're yelling man and zone, man, zone, man, zone, and they're running and sitting through, and we're just taking our drops and we're throwing that piece, and so I don't really feel like it's a waste of time at all. I mean, anytime you may need CPR, you might want to be good at it. If you're a nurse or a doctor or a paramedic, your CPR needs to be on point because you need that check down. And in the air raid, you got to have a check down. And I'll share with you what I told Coach Robinson because I DM'd him a little bit and I told him he was being a good sport about it because, everybody kind of jumped on him. And, we've all been there. But what I told him was this. I said, hey, look, Mike Leach will tell you if he could only run one play, mesh or shallow, he'll run shallow. But I don't think that we're in that situation where you have to pick and choose. And the idea that you can do so many other things, I think kind of gets away from the purity of the air raid. Guys, you don't have to do something different just to be doing it different. I had a conversation with Doug Meacham a couple of days ago on Twitter. Me and him were chit-chatting back and forth. And what Doug was saying, and I mentioned to him how much I appreciated the tweet that he had put out about Mike Leach and Coach Mummy about being simple and staying true to it and not worrying about changing things. And he's one of those guys that's kind of the same way. He's going to stay into that stuff. So, hey, listen, this is just a little bit about why I think being a check down is not a bad thing on mesh. Hopefully it kind of gives some of you guys some ideas about how we practice it. Like I said, we'll take those outside guys and let them work something else. They could be doing screen drill. They can be doing stock blocking. They can be doing all kind of other things. But when you're in your inside period, if it's inside mesh day, let your inside guys work your mesh here, and then you can work your other guys on that mesh. 5 minutes a day. I think it's very, very important to do that. And like was said in a lot of the Twitter feed, mesh is such a great play down on the end, down in the red zone, down in the end zone, especially if you don't know if you're going to get man zone or some kind of combination coverage and all this other stuff. But it just answers way too many questions. And it's the same reason why, I don't mirror my quick game. And that's another argument we could have, because, one of my best friends in football is Joe Salas, and he mirrors his quick game. And he just does it that way, and it works for him, and that's fine. But for me, I like to have, a cover 2 beater on one side, a cover 1, a cover 3 beater on the other, if at all possible. And so for me, that's really, really important. I like to give my quarterback answers for questions, and if you didn't see the QBIQ video the other day, that video was great, man. Coach Hickson and those boys, they do such a great job. And if you want to go over to their website and pick up some of their stuff, use that code 92mesh, and he'll give you a 20% off deal. And he's going to be coming to Air Raid Nation. And I'm really excited about that clinic, guys. I hope you guys can make it. I know it's kind of, at the end of the school year, around Mother's Day for a lot of you guys. But, hey, Fayetteville's only an hour, hour and 15 minutes or hour 20 minutes from the beach. So if you guys want to come and then kind of make a weekend of it or something like that, that'd be pretty cool. But I'm telling you, it's gonna be massive, dude. We got all kind of things planned. I'm really excited about the YouTube round table. Pat Taylor's going to be there. Drew's going to be there. I'll be there. Sal is, Coach Dular, Coach Knapp. Ron Mackey's going to be there. Slade Singleton with More with 4. And hey, if you guys haven't checked out his clinic, if you're in that Tennessee area, I think it's the second week of March, he's putting on a really good clinic in Knoxville. So check that out too over at More with 4. But all of those guys are going to be there, and we're going to live stream that. We'll be started up about 10 o'clock Eastern. We'll do it during our coaches social, and we'll try to get some of the coaches who are there to come by and answer some questions. We'll have a little whiteboard session up. You guys can ask some questions, and we'll just chit chat for about 30-45 minutes with everybody. I'm really excited about that. Also going to have this computer set up over in the ballroom where guys can do some live streams. So, you'll see hopefully Coach Mackey will do some videos, and some other guys will do some videos from there. Really, really excited. A lot of people have been asking me if we're going to live stream the entire clinic. The answer to that is no, but every one of the coaches is going to have the opportunity to video their own. We'll video the stuff for them and give it to them, and we'll let them distribute it however they want to. So we're really excited about that. Hey, thank you guys. If you like videos like this, man, I really appreciate it if you subscribe. We're up to about 2,700 and a half subscribers, man. We're almost to 3,000. I'm just like I said earlier, man. I'm overwhelmed by the support you guys are giving us here at the Meshgroup. And as always, spin it to win.